Hello everybody, welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program, Mr. Sick of Shit. Cause, just like you, I'm sick of the shit. Getting to the point. First of all, forgive my messy hair. I know it looks a wreck, but until it gets warmer, there's not going to be a whole lot that I can really do comfortably to get myself looking like I want to before I come on here. So bear with me until warm weather rolls around to stay for several months. At any rate, as if you and I and a lot of people didn't know that the water treatment plants, the water across the board, is in trouble from hacks. It is. Even the government is now telling us that our water supply, now they're talking about water supplies coming from water companies. They're not talking, as far as I'm aware, about natural water sources such as creeks, ponds, streams. Well, rivers were at one time a natural water source. They're not anymore. I would not suggest anybody drinking water from a river without it being seriously filtered. At any rate, water companies all over the country, everywhere, are in trouble. And all over the country, they are likely to be brought down. Therefore, the main thing right now, if you haven't started prepping yet, you're in bad shape, because you got a little bit of time to do a little bit, but you don't have a lot of time to do very much. That's just the way it is. Most people are just out of luck. If they haven't started yet, you can get ahead of the game to some extent by having more than you did before, but it depends on how many people you might wind up having to try and feed. You know, it might not last you that long, but I don't discourage anybody from at least trying, okay? Don't discourage that. The main thing at this point is to ensure that you have some form of shelter that is defensible, okay? How defensible this is, don't ask me. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to do my damnedest. I, personally, have access to a creek. I have been drinking that creek water since I was a kid. The worst thing that has ever happened to my family from drinking that water has been that it wasn't the creek water, it was the well water, but they are basically pretty much the same water. The only thing that ever happened to us, and this happened back and forth, going to the city and coming out here, we would get diarrhea for about a week until our body adjusted to it, and then we were fine. That was the worst thing we ever had to deal with. So my suggestion is, if you live near a freshwater source like that, and you are fairly confident that nobody is pumping in the neighborhood, is pumping anything into it that is harmful, then you're going to be okay to drink that water, and you likely won't even have to put it through any filters. You can if you want to. There are natural filtering processes. But to be quite honest with you, the creek itself has its own natural filtering process. You ever heard of moss, stones, not to mention all of the water that comes off of the hill and into the creek? That is also filtered naturally by all kinds of stuff. Perfectly safe to drink. Like I said, we've been doing it all my life. I'm 56. Since I was 7 years old, no problems. You need to understand something. Granted, I understand perfectly. I live in this place. I know it needs repairs. You can see that just by looking at it. But I am seeing RVs that are in 100 times worse condition than this one, being sold in Facebook groups for $450, $500. I don't know about you, but to me, that's telling me that people are getting way more desperate. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, I was desperate to get out of the city of Louisville. And I'm glad that I did, regardless. We're doing okay. We're happy. We're well fed. We're healthy. I'm glad I got out of the city. Oh, there are people out there. How many? I don't know. But I've seen 2 just in the last 24 hours. Buying really, really bad shape places. That tells me that people now are even more desperate to get out of the city than I have been. And I hope that they have the time, the skill, and the money to make the repairs that they're going to have to make. Because these places, I'm talking, I wouldn't even have, once I saw it, no way. I ain't even going to pay $450, $500 for that when I got this one for $6. And, you know, by most people's standards, it's not that great of a, it's not that great of a place, but it's home. And we've done just fine for the most part, except when it got like super duper cold, we went and stayed with my ex for a couple of weeks. Other than that, we've gotten along just fine. And we will continue. And yes, as I'm going to do the best I can to make some repairs when the warm weather rolls around. But for now, this is what I got to work with. And we're doing okay. As you can see, we're fine. Well, just wanted to let you guys know, if you don't have a freshwater system like a creek nearby, you need to find one, because it may very soon be the only clean water you have access to. Well, that's not even to mention the power grid. I would suggest getting a solar generator as well. I really would, because it's very likely you're going to not only need a solar generator, but you're probably going to also need to be very close to a clean freshwater source sometime very soon. Could be April 8th, could be sometime after, we don't know. I got a feeling about this whole thing. It could be cyber attacks that do it, or it could be a solar storm. I don't know which, but either way, we're going to need to be prepared. So get everything that you need on a daily basis now, as much of it as you can. Be near a clean fresh water source. Don't forget your medical supplies. Till next time, Mr. Sick as Shit signing out.